Grand risings, my darlings, how are we all? I'm Jamie from the Warlock's Cottage, also known as Card Readings with Jamie if you're watching on TikTok or YouTube. So, I'm live on all 3 platforms today. We are literally streamed 3 different platforms at once. It feels weird, but it's cool. So this is a collective reading today. It's a podcast that we're going to do. I've got my new microphone. With a very, very long lead. Let's put it that way. And when I say it's a long lead, I mean it's really, 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 really long. I do. It's about 3 meters. It is. So it's a really long lead. That's right. There we go. So yeah, hopefully this podcast, I don't need to have the volume up too loud, but we'll see. So let's have a quick drink and then we will start. Hello, RJ. There we go, we'll drink out the way. Hello, Joa. So, let's start this reading. Remember, guys, if you'd like to send a donation, link in bio. It does really help out with these podcasts. So yeah, you don't have to, but you can if you want to. Send the gifts, they really help out as well. Just means I can keep doing them, because it pays for the subscription. It does. So let's start it up. Let's start the podcast up. Remember, there are no readings in this live. This is a collective, so the whole reading is for everyone. Thank you for the follow. The whole reading is for everyone. So let's start it off. We're going to start off with the Alice in Wonderland deck. I think it's called that. What's it called? Yeah, Alice in Wonderland deck. Hello, Alicia. That's one that we're going to start off with, and we'll see where we go with that. Hi, Bubbles. Hi, Shirley. Grand risings, my beautiful souls. I hope that you're all doing well today. I'm Jamie from the Warlock's Cottage, and I am back with another podcast. Let's restart this. Grand risings, I'm Jamie from the Warlock's Cottage, and I'm here with another podcast. I am live on TikTok, Instagram and YouTube, so if you do want to watch podcasts live, you can watch it on all those 3, or if you would like to re-watch live, you can watch it on Instagram or YouTube. The Instagram is the Warlock's Cottage or Card Readings with Jamie. I link both, and the YouTube is just Card Readings with Jamie. So without further ado, let's get on with the podcast. Let's see what you need to know. Let's see what the energy is. Let's see what's coming towards you. Straight off the bat, I'm hearing that you guys need to learn how to use the word no. Okay. I was watching this really funny reel yesterday at 2 o'clock in the morning, so today basically, and it was different ways of saying no, but included the F word. It was quite funny, and I feel that is where this reading is going to go. So let's see what's going to happen, and let's see what y'all need to know. So yeah, straight off the bat, my darlings, you've got the Tower in the upright. What this is instantly suggesting is you guys do not have your boundaries. You guys are not setting your ways. You want the success, but it's not coming with the 6 of flowers in reverse. Okay, so we're using the Alice in Wonderland deck. 6 of flowers, 6 of wands. So yeah, with that in reverse, there is no success because you're always saying yes to people. You're always allowing people in instead of removing them. You always allow them forwards. Okay. You're always allowing them forwards instead. Okay, you need to push them away and go, you know what? It's me time. Okay? And you need to go, it is me time now. Okay? It's you. It's no one else. It is your time and your time only. And that is what you need to realise. Is that if you can't say no, you're always going to be other people's slaves. You are. And you need to break free of that. You need to move on from that, you do. Okay. We do have the Knight of Flowers as well. So what this is suggesting here is you have to move towards what you need to. It's time that you start building your boundaries up. It's time that you start looking at your boundaries and thinking, right, where can we go with this? What can we do with this? How can we build it up? And do we need to get any help? I feel that a lot of you do, to be quite frank, okay? If you remember my last podcast, in the last podcast, it's all about getting help. Now you know how to get the help. You now need to work out how to say no to the negative people, no to the people that aren't going to actually help you out. Okay, this is what you got to work out now. Okay, so yeah, if you listen to the last podcast, episode 8, in that podcast, we were going all about help, and we're going how you can get it, what you need to do to get the help. Now in this podcast, it's how can you say no to the unnecessary energy being spent, okay? Because your energy, imagine your energy as a bank account, okay? Imagine your energy as a bank account, and in that bank account, you have a certain amount of energy. You do. You have a certain amount of money. And every time you spend it, so every time you talk to someone, you're spending that money. Okay, that's your energy being depleted. That is your energy being depleted and your energy being left behind. Okay? That is what you've got to look at. That is what you've got to think, okay, with money, we budget. How are we going to do this with that energy? So you've got to find ways of budgeting with your energy, okay, my darlings? You got to look at the ways that you're going, and you got to think, right, we can budget this. We can budget this, okay? Trust me, sometimes it's better to be introverted than extroverted. I can tell you that now, my darlings, okay? I can tell you that now. Sometimes it is better to be an introvert than it is to be an extrovert. Because I can tell you now, you keep your energy. No one else gets hold of it. You are the ones that hold your energy. You are the ones that have it. Okay, star in verse, you have overexerted your energy. You've used it too much. You've overspent it. You are now in debt. Your energy bank has depleted. Okay. 7 of hedgehogs, you need to reflect. You need to look at what is going on. Look at where you're going. And look at what you're doing. Okay. 7 of hedgehogs. Simple. Be like a hedgehog, basically. Be calm, collective and quiet, but ready to defend. Okay. Defend your energy at all costs. Obviously, try and stay out of conflict as much as you can. I mean, I was just watching a live about an hour and a half ago. And the amount of drama, I mean, just looking at TikTok and social media in general, okay? I've done social media for 8 years. Looking at all the drama over the years, as we've gone into the years, like 20s, okay? So 2020, 2021, 2022, so on and so forth. The drama on social media has become more and more massive. It has just become huge. And we need to look at why are we pushing our energy into all of this drama and creating this toxic space. I mean, for goodness sake, the spiritual community is meant to be spiritual, it's meant to be friendly, it's meant to help each other out. Why are we creating this much drama for ourselves in this community, or in any community, let alone? Okay, I don't care if you agree with it or not. For example, there's some stuff in the LGBTQ community that I don't agree with, that I'm part of. I don't agree with it. There's some stuff in the spiritual community that I don't agree with, but I'm part of it. But I keep the opinion to myself because I cannot be bothered to get into the drama. Yes, it gets you views, but I'm not here about the views. I'm here about quality and quantity. I am. And this is what you've got to think is, what is the quality of your energy? And how much of the quantity are you willing to give? Okay? And that's what you have to feel with it is, are you willing to give a high quantity or a low quantity? And at what time? Then you've got to think, what is the quality that you're going to give as well? Okay? You have to look at the quality. That is the most important thing with this, is the quality of your energy that you are giving. Okay, if you're there going to give low quality, there's no point in you being there. That is where then you have to move forwards and move on. Okay, because you're not willing to put any effort into a conversation. You're not willing to put any effort into the meeting. Okay, now then you've got the other way. If you're putting in too much quality and too big of a quantity, then you'll be an extrovert saying, look at me, you've got the syndrome of being a look at me sort of person, the centre of attention. Okay, trust me, I know I've had my fair share of those people, and it bugs me. It's my pet peeve. I hate it. Okay. Pet hate, pet peeve. Both same thing. I hate it. Okay. We don't need a know-it-all. We don't need a look at me all the time. Okay, sometimes we all want a little bit of the spotlight. And sometimes we've got to give that spotlight to everyone. Okay, and we've got to look at the energy that we're giving to everyone. If you keep giving that person that keeps wanting the spotlight and wants the spotlight only on them, and you give them that energy, you're going to fuel the spotlight. So the spotlight will shine brighter and brighter and brighter on them. And then you've got to think, hang on a minute. Why are we giving them all of this energy when they are just draining us? And this is where you've got to say, no, I am not willing to give the energy anymore. Okay. Or we are not going to give the energy anymore. We are going to move on, move forwards until they calm down. Okay. You need to go lights out, baby. Okay. Someone's just commented in the TikTok chat, when the light goes out, it is time to move on, step out of the fear and into the unknown. Beauty there. Okay. And that is true. Step into the unknown beauty. Step into what you cannot see. Step into the darkness and create a new light. Okay. Step into the new light, not the old. Okay. It doesn't matter what you believe in. You could, like, whether you believe in paganism or anything like that, is find a new light, find a new way. It doesn't matter what your religion is. There's always light everywhere. And there's always darkness. We're all flesh and blood. If you cut your arm open, you're still going to bleed the same blood. Okay? And you've got to look at it in the same way of, if you go into the dark with someone you don't like, you're still going to be in the same place as them. So create light and create hope and create positive energy instead of the negative. Okay, learn to work together. Learn to co-create. I'm going to say that again because last time other people thought it's the same chaos. Learn to C-O, create. Okay? Work with people you don't like. Okay, because, look, love, life isn't fair. You ain't going to be able to work with everyone you like. Okay, and you've got to deal with it. Because that is what yin and yang is. Positive and negative being together. Okay, you've got the hand of the devil. You've got the hand of the angel. Okay? You can't have one or the other. You have to have both. Okay? If you just have the devil's hand, it's going to be out of balance. If you just have the angel's hand, yes, the angel is all positive, it's still going to be negative and out of balance because you need the both to work. And this is where you've got to learn to say no and yes correctly and at the right amount. Or your energy is going to be put all over the place and you're going to be drawn. Okay? You're going to be stuck. And you are going to be flat out on that floor thinking, where has all my energy gone? And no one's going to help you. No one is going to help you at all. Okay? Because they're just going to be there like thinking, hang on a minute, you didn't put in the right energy. You're going to try and steal mine. But it's people who can't get their own energy and can't manufacture their own energy once again become energy vampires. They start leeching off of your energy and taking your energy, using your energy, feeding off your energy, okay? And that's another thing is, you have to say no. You have to cut them off. Okay, so sometimes you've got to learn how to cut people off. Sometimes you've got to learn how to go forwards and go, you know what? We're not having this anymore. Okay? And that's when you need to stop. Okay? We've got judgment. Some of you need to make your own right judgments. Some of you need to toot your horn a little bit more. So when you've said no successfully and you've gone, I'm out, toot your horn. Be happy that you have stood up for yourself. Be happy that you've gone, actually, I'm me. And I'm happy with that energy. Okay? Someone put, I've had a narcissist feeding off my energy. And did you say no, my darling? Did you say no? Did you cut them off? Or did you let them keep leeching off of you? That's the question you've got to ask. And that's what you've got to look at, my darling, is if you know you've got a narcissist leeching off of you, did you ever stop it? Or did you wait for a very long time before you actually went no? Okay, because at least you still went no, but could you have done it sooner? Okay, that's what you got to think is, could you have said no sooner? Okay. And I feel not enough people realise that. Okay, not enough people look at that and think, yeah, I could have said no. And I could have said that a lot more sooner. Last 2 cards from the tarot, and then we get 2 from the life coaching. Okay. We have the Hangman, we've got the World in the upright, we've also got the Queen of Hedgehogs and the 6 of Hedgehogs. Okay, so yeah, again, learning to balance your energy. Okay. And the same thing, learning to see things from different angles and from multiple angles and thinking, how can we get around this in the most politest way, but at the same time still getting the point across? Okay. And that's what we've got to look at is, where can you get your point across without sounding like an absolute rude person? Okay. You can probably tell I was going to say something else and remembered I can't. But you've got to look at it in that way. You've got to make the right connections. Okay. You've got to make the right connections in life. And you've got to learn the right connections, okay? Right, let's get a couple of cards from the Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle. Highly recommend this deck. I got my deck from the House of Gaia, which you can find in Scotland. And the postcode for them is 77 High Street, Peebles, Peebles, I think that's 958 AM. Okay. And if it's not a 9, my darlings, it's a 4. But the font that they've used is a little bit hard to tell if it's a 9 or a 4. So try both. Try both. Yeah, search up House of Gaia on the internet and put Peebles in it, and you'll get the correct address for them. Okay? Highly recommend them. I spent quite a lot of money in there, but that's not the point. That's why I should have learned to say no. That's what I need to learn to say no, is I do not need all of that. Yeah, I still went, yes, I'm going to buy all of that. Okay, so again, sometimes you might need to learn no in what you're going to spend. Okay. Reconciliation, perception, and creative projects. Okay, so we're going to read the reconciliation first. This says, this relationship, friendship, or partnership can be saved. So although it can be saved, it's sometimes you've got to think, do you want it saved or do you not? Okay, so again, look at where you're putting the energy. Is the other half going to put in the right energy as well, my darlings? Okay, I lost a friendship in college before I left. Did I want to reconcile it? No. And that's why I said no. I put my boundaries there, and I thought, I'm not even going to try and reconcile this. And this is what you've got to do, is you've got to think, am I going to try and reconcile this? Is it going to work? Is it going to be worth it? And if the answer is no, then the answer is no. Okay? We also got perception, so it's all about how you view things, okay? You're getting ready to have a shift in perception that will change everything. So you've got to look at how you view things, how you view people, how you view what is going on, okay? You've got to look at the big picture, not the small picture, okay? Look at the big, look at what's actually going on. You then got creative projects, okay? I can't pick the damn card up, one sec. There we go, picked up. And it says, it is time to get things done. Make your creative projects a priority now. Okay, so basically that's saying make yourself priority. Make what your projects are priority. Not what other people's projects are, not what other people want. It's what you have, what you are doing, and what you can do to prioritise your subjects. Okay, prioritise you and say no to others. Okay, my darling, you need to normalise saying no, to be quite frank. You have to normalise it, okay? I don't care how harsh it sounds. If I want to say no to somebody, I'm going to say no to somebody. Okay? I'm harsh, I'm blunt. I don't care how they feel. I don't care what they think of me afterwards. The answer is no. And that's final. If I don't want it, I'm saying no bluntly. And that's what you've got to learn to do, is sometimes switch off from the niceness. If they're not getting it the first time, just be blunt. Just be blunt. Okay? I'm Jamie from the Warlock's Cottage. It's been my pleasure doing this podcast, and and thank you for listening. Blessed be. There we go. So that is that podcast done. We are done on the podcast. So what are some questions? What crystals can help best with your intuition? I should know because I've got it next to my bed. It's a purple one. Ask that in a video, my darling. Comment on one of my videos and ask that question. I'll get back to you in a video, okay? I honestly cannot remember, but yeah, comment on one of my videos and I'll answer it. Okay, my darling, I have completely forgotten the name. Amethyst. I think it's amethyst, yeah. Yes, amethyst. Thank you, my darling. Thank you. Yeah, one of the purple ones. Pardon me. Honestly, couldn't remember the name of it. Thank you for the follow. So, a collective is basically for everyone. Okay, so to the person that asked what a collective is, a collective reading is for everyone. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, okay? So I don't believe in collective readings where it's like, oh, this guy's going to come back to you, your love life is shambles and all that trash, okay? For me, it's all about empowerment. If you've ever watched Madam Adam, it's like that. He does the collective the correct way, okay? And that is what the collective is meant to be like, okay, to be quite frank. Okay, it's all about empowering yourself. It is. Okay. I have so many beautiful crystals, but don't know how to best utilize them. I've got no idea, my darling. I don't use crystals that much. I don't use crystals that much, my darling. Not my thing. I want to, but don't know how to. You love Madam Adam? So do I. I get all my empowerment readings on Cameo from him. I do. I use the Cameo. Absolutely love him. What you gonna do later, my darling? Have a bath and relax. I'm not even joking there. Nice to meet you, my darling, as well. You're very welcome, my darling. But yeah, I've been told I'm an empath, but don't really know what it means. An empath is someone that takes can feel other people's energy, my darling, okay? It's someone that can feel other people's energy, and some of them get confused between what someone else's energy is and what their energy is. I'm an empath, but yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly title my podcast, then we're going to upload it. I'm going to tell you where you can find it, okay? How to say no. In this episode, we teach you how to say no. And then I want my bio, my special one. Someone. Thank you for, hope you enjoy listening. There you go. Pick from photos. Basically, guys, if you're watching this on the replay, you get basically see the behind the scenes and everything. Empowerment. Tarot. Tarot. Oh, shite. Psychic. Empath. That's a good one, my darling. Empath. Oracle. Seer. Yeah, we'll go with that. Back and upload. So if you want to listen to that episode, it is on The Warlock's Cottage, which is on Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music /Audible, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, and GeoSavan. Okay, remember with these podcasts, you can also watch them on other podcasting apps as well. And you can also watch it live on YouTube or Instagram, or you can watch the replay. Okay? All completely up to you. Thank you all so much for watching the live. Thank you all so much for listening to the podcast as well. Remember, please go and listen to it as an actual podcast as well, and leave a review on Spotify or any other podcast app. It really does help out. This is my 10th episode, I think. Yeah, my 10th episode. The audio does get better the higher up you go. Originally, I was doing it out of my phone. Okay. Out of my phone microphone. Then I tried another microphone and I've got a better microphone now. Okay. So thank you all so much for listening, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.